Ok, anh em quay lại để xem nhá. Chuẩn bị vào rồi.
Welcome back to Sarajevo. Welcome back to the European Open. It is time for the second semi-final. We've just seen a player who is great for the game produce a great game himself. Naoki Oi, I think that's the best performance on the big occasion in terms of pure quality I've ever seen from the Japanese number one. So he's in the final, he can put his feet up, and now Villa and Labutis go head to head. On the excellent website Absolute Pool, I was just reading their semi-final previews, and the writer made the point that the two players for this match will be a lot better prepared than they were for the final of the Derby City Classic. Last year, basically the tournament was supposed to finish on the Sunday, like this one. But there were so many entries, so many matches, that it didn't finish until 11:15 in the morning the following day, with play continuous overnight. So these two went head to head for a very big title with no sleep, very little food. In the end, it was Villa who prevailed. So what do they have in common here? Well, they've both played 7 matches in Sarajevo. They both won 7. Now, Pijus Labutis has a really good frames won lost record, 67-4, 30 against. But that's completely outshone by Joshua Filler. 67 frames won, 17 lost. So that equates to 79.7%. So effectively, he's winning 4 of every 5 racks in the tournament as a whole. Now, Colt boys, that takes some doing.
Yeah, there's one player in the field can do it though. He's the man having his practice rack. Everybody knows who's played handball at a high level how good Joshua Filler is. If you played him at some point, believe me, he's given you a bit of a beating.
And this week, a little bit like Naoki Oi actually, who's had his head down and seemed very intent on being totally focused and intent on gaining the trophy. Well, that's been exactly the same modus operandi for Joshua Filler. Yes, he's always a trophy hunter, of course, but this week he's given the overwhelming impression he's a man on a mission. He's here with a point to prove.
Yeah, he knows he's got to beat Labutis obviously to get through to the final. He now knows who is waiting. Naoki Oi with another fantastic display really. Just seems to blitz through the field, Oi.
Well, in terms of their pre-tournament odds, this is big favourite against outsider. Labutis was 50-1 to win the event before a ball was struck. Joshua Filler was 8-1 joint favourite alongside Shane Van Boning. I still think Filler's definitely a good thing in this match, but I'm not quite sure he'll win as easily as Oi. In fact, I'm sure he won't. I can see this going close, and who knows if he does, Labutis has got the class to maybe sneak out a victory.
Well, yeah, without a doubt. Labutis always seems to play a part in these tournaments now. He's always thereabouts. I feel like he always qualifies. Yet again, he finds himself in a semi-final.
Well, at this year's Derby City Classic, they met in the final of the Bigfoot Challenge, and it was Labutis who won. They were locked together at 7-7. He pulled away to 10-7.
Joshua Filler wins the leg.
Filler almost perfect with the lag. And we saw in the previous semi-final, if you can get on a roll, get that break going, winning the lag can be vitally important.
Bán kết một là ổ Nhật win nhé, ổ Nhật win. 11 ổ Nhật.
Decent opener here, decent break.
Có tình huống nào không nhỉ?
Can definitely pot it in that middle.
Có con 2 này
The
thôi.
overhead tells us that.
Còn lại hết tình huống không?
With it being the first shot of this match, kind of feels like it's a little bit more difficult than maybe in 2 or 3 reps time, but obviously he's going to go for it. He's going to swing the cue ball round for a shot on the red 3 in the bottom right corner. Yeah, here comes the cue ball, it looks perfect.
Some say he's the best player in the game with the rise of Fedor Gorsht. That is debatable. What isn't debatable for me? He's the best potter.
Mấy anh em nãy hỏi Filler đâu rồi? Không về. Mình này cổ vũ cho Labutis nhé. Khoan nó có trượt đấy.
Yes, the loss of
8
this
đấy.
rack
Nhưng anh Hoàng không ăn được thôi.
would hurt Labutis more than the previous two.
Hôm qua nó cũng trượt mấy quả mà. Chỉ qua anh Hoàng không ăn được thôi. Rồi tầm này không tê được.
Last night in the quarterfinals against Poland's Wojciech Szewczyk, Joshua Filler was 3-0 down.
Joshua Filler wins the third leg.
This time he's 3-0 ahead. And that means Pijus Labutis already has a headache.
Mình không biết Filler chơi gậy gì đâu. Anh Hoàng nỗi nhất là cú phá. Người ta chuyên nghiệp tê chỉ là về sau mới tê thôi. Chứ hồi đầu chuyên nghiệp người ta gặp nhau suốt, làm sao tê được. Anh em mình đây thì nói gặp tê thì đúng rồi. Nhưng người ta bắn chuyên nghiệp liên tục như thế. Gặp nhau suốt, bảo tê thì cũng tê được. Giả sử bắn vài ván thì mới tê. Thực ra gậy có xịn đến mấy, tay mình mà không bắn được thì gậy xịn cũng chả để làm gì. Đúng rồi, lại đi đá chiến thuật. Đi đá chiến thuật thắng gì nhỉ? Lớn Đức Thiện đấy. Cho mặt cáo bay luôn. Này thì cấm này. Cho bay luôn. Ông nào mà cứ hỏi gấm rồi hỏi bình chuẩn rồi gì nhỉ, dây lát các kiểu cho đi luôn. Đây ông này hỏi Ngọc Sâm cho đi luôn, mình không quan trọng một hai người kiểu comment sàn kiểu này đâu, cho đi luôn. Thực ra chuẩn hay không thì vẫn do tay thôi, ngắn dài cũng là một chuyện thôi, vì nhiều tình huống vẫn phải ra ngọn dài. Hoàng sao thứ 34 nhé, Hoàng sao thứ 34 đang giải nào bạn ơi?
It's been a day of domination so far, a towering performance from Naokioi in our first semi-final, winning 11-1 here in Sarajevo, which is the capital city of Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's the Miljacka River. And we're in a valley here, surrounded by the beautiful Dinaric Alps. The weather has been somewhat in and out, let's put it that way. We've had some very heavy rainstorms over the course of the week here, but when the
bán kết như thế này cứ vào comment sàn, có những anh em khác xem nữa chứ.
He's going to stay at the table. One ball off the break. Doesn't look like he can kick this ball in.
Năm nay khó ai bật được gôn á.
You can see the difficulty he's going to have in the push out. Where do you push to? He's having a look, isn't he, at that little gap there. He's just looking to see if he can miss the purple ball with left spin from this side and try and kick it in. Well, he's going for it, so he can. Oh, wonderful. And he's going to have a long shot here on red 3.
Yeah, the juxtaposition of 5 and 7 doing him no favours either. Even a magician like Filler would struggle to run out here.
4 này cũng là vấn đề này. 3 này 2 băng ra 4. Né được cụm 5 7 này.
Didn't play the pot.
Thủ luôn.
Just the cue ball control for there, just to softly stun it into that gap. Beautifully timed.
Yeah, I talked about his potting abilities before being, in my opinion, unparalleled. But his tactical game just seems to improve all the time.
Yeah, it's the timing of the cue ball. Many a player would attempt that shot, and the cue ball would square out to the right, and you'd leave a long putt. Anyway, it's the short cue for Labutis. Nothing else has worked so far. Maybe this will. Good effort. Wasn't far away. What's he going to leave? What's he going to leave? Well, he's going to leave a shot. Purple 5 is tied up though, so it's not completely over. And where the pink 4 ball is, it's going to be difficult to break the balls out.
Đóng 10 đô, 100 đô bạn có thể xem được.
Yeah, didn't even attack it.
Vào trang của WNT xem. Vào đấy thì tạo tài khoản, không rồi làm 10 đô.
It's also with Filler's shot selection. I think he's found that holy grail, the balance, the correct balance between attack and defence. Because he's such a good potter, he's always tempted to take on the positive option, but he can rein himself in.
Yeah, percentages, that's what we call it. When to attack, when not to. Yeah, good hit. Keeps distance as well. Oh, this is interesting. Pots it in the middle, 2 rails. Can he try and cannon them 2 balls somehow? Or he still leaves the shot. Again. Kept it safe.
Cũng không ăn luôn. Bắt Filler ăn nhưng Filler không ăn luôn. Anh em có thể vào WNT ủng hộ cũng được.
Obviously for PSA it's just a case of making sure you hit the 3 and don't move the purple
Theo lịch
5
là
and the
1 rưỡi
brown
chung kết
7.
bạn ơi.
Whatever you do, don't move them 2 balls. That's your safety net.
Yeah, unlike in frame 4, no 2 balls glued together awkwardly.
Và phá này thì cũng chả nói tâm lý đâu, nó phá cũng tốt mà. Đen cái là con cái
Like Colin
nó
mentioned
va
before the
vào người
start,
chết thôi.
Filler's strike rate over this tournament as a whole has been 4 frame wins from every 5 he's played.
Không, hôm qua nó cũng nhiều quả nó
That
may
could
mắn
be
mà. Kiểu
a
như là
did too
va
here.
chạm bi ấy, rồi nó chết ấy. Còn hay thì công nhận nó vẫn hay mà. Có ai không bảo nó hay đâu bạn. Mình vẫn
Anywhere
ủng
on the
hộ
right
Labutis
side
này mà.
of the table. The brown 7's up there as well for position of the next ball.
Chưa biết đâu bạn ơi. Nếu bạn
Okay,
chưa
a
xem
lot of
ổi
people would
vừa nãy thì bạn
use
nên
that
xem
rail
lại
and
trận
come
ổi vừa
right
nãy nhé.
across the table.
Chứ đừng khẳng định Fuller vô địch.
The extension.
He just wanted to make sure he leaves himself a pot. He didn't want to flirt with the 9, did he? Now the cue ball's got to go 2 rails and back out into the break box. Is ideal.
Fuller bị ổi 2 quả mẹ bắn bóng. Ổi vừa nãy thắng 11-1 nhé. Ổi đang phong độ cực cao luôn.
Killer Filler just 2 balls away from restoring that 3
Fuller đây
black cushion.
phá còn ra nhiều tình huống. Ổi hôm nay phá mọi người xem đấy, có mấy pha tình huống đó. Thủ của ổi cũng chắc. So loại rồi. So bị Fuller cho ngồi cứng rồi.
Joshua Filler wins silver.
Scratching on the break against Joshua Filler is akin to running a marathon with shoes that are 2 sizes too small. It's not going to end well. 4-1 it is, and there's nothing yet, Carl, to suggest that this favourite is going to be overturned.
No, I mean, obviously the previews were out there. It's just a bit of pool unfortune. Obviously Joshua Filler is no stranger to this arena. Filler in 2019, Philly won the inaugural US Open for Matchroom, wasn't it?
Yes, over there in Las Vegas. Now we've gone from west to east coast, because this year's event will take place on the Jersey Shore in Atlantic City in late August. $100,000, the prize for the champion there, the biggest ever. And I'm sure that Filler will be one of the main contenders.
Rack 6. Joshua Filler the break, leading by 4 racks to 1.
Mình thích Labutis nhé.
The Pijus Labutis is, he sticks with you. Joshua Filler will be pleased, but he'll be taking absolutely nothing for granted. 4-2.
Ổi là Nazuki Oil bạn ơi. Anh Hoàng sang tuần này kiếm thêm tiền mà. Giải được mời kia là chắc chắn có tiền rồi. Tiền với mình là nhiều chứ với cánh bên châu Âu là đáng bao nhiêu. Ổi Nhật. Không có filler đâu bạn ơi. Giải không có filler đâu. Gemalat sang toàn bắn nhé. Gemalat được mời nhé. Gemalat với Johan Chua, Philippines 2 người. Không có gốt nhé. Gốt thì chuẩn bị sang Việt Nam rồi. Đỗ Nhật Long vừa nói ở trên các bạn ơi. Tiểu Hiếu ơi. Đâu nhỉ? Không phải Đỗ Nhật Long, ai ấy? Mai Ngọc Trường vừa bảo ở trên kìa. Thể thức là đánh vòng tròn một lượt bạn ơi. 16 người đánh vòng tròn, ai cũng gặp nhau. Gặp nhau xong chọn ra 12 người. 12 người top đầu. Xong rồi lại đánh vòng tròn tiếp chọn 8 người. Vòng tròn tiếp chọn 4 người. Tiếng đó. Đấy là bên WNT nó tắt tiếng đấy, không phải mình tắt đâu. Thì Lương tham gia rồi.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the European Open, the first major World 9-Ball Tour ranking event of 2025. It's semi-finals. Pijus Labutis 4-2 down to Joshua Filler. They are playing for the right to take on Japan's Naoki Oi for the title later.
Ổi thì là top 31. Không, vẫn top 16 nhé. Vào giải này là đang top 16. Không có tụt đâu, sau giải này mới cập nhật nhé. Xong giải mới cập nhật. 1:30 đánh chung kết. Đúng rồi, Mickey về Việt Nam hôm nay rồi, đang đánh độ ở Việt Nam cạo râu rồi. Ở đây không có điểm mà đấy, tích lũy tiền thôi. Tính tổng tiền, không là nhiều tiền. Xếp hạng theo tiền. Đó, nãy mình thấy hình như gỡ hòa là 10-10 rồi mà, còn ván cuối mình không xem. Anh Hoàng top 34 nhé. Gót thì đâu của vai gáy. Labutis sau giải này á, cũng chưa biết được, không biết được vào được top 10 không. Vì giả sử cộng 16.000 đô thì mới được là 95 thì vẫn thua Motif Leo Sen. G hình như là thua Daniel. Chua top 5 nhé. Ôi, tên thật là Nazuki Oi, sinh ra ở Tokyo, Nhật Bản. Hoàng sao 34, bảng xếp hạng ngay trước mắt mình đây. Quan trọng có nhà tài trợ hay không, chứ đâu phải muốn đi là được bạn. Đi cả đống tiền đấy chứ. Có nhà tài trợ người ta mới tài trợ tiền nhé. Với cũng có xác định năng lực nữa chứ. Anh em nhà Kachi đi hết rồi. Không, bảng xếp hạng vẫn ở trước mặt mình đấy. Vẫn 34 Dương Quốc Hoàng đấy. Thiện Lương đấy. Thiện Lương là top 8 mấy nhỉ? 84. Thiện Lương là 84. Mình không sâu thì bạn không ra được. Mỗi lần sâu thì ra là lại bị báo cáo là chơi cờ bạc. Nên mình không sâu ra được.
After the one-sided blowout we saw in the first semi-final, it's really good to see The second semi-final in this European Open being very keenly contested. 5-4 to Joshua Filler in a race to 11. Naoki Oi awaits the winner. Carl, you've been watching Naoki Oi for many a year now. I think in terms of pure quality, that was one of the best big occasion performances I've ever seen from the Japanese number one.
Pijus Labutis a break, trailing by 5 breaks to 4.
Yeah, not just the previous match as well, Phil, just the whole event. Just these days, just because the pockets have been tightened up a little bit, haven't they? Just realised he's no extension, but they're going to move on. Probably play safe now. Yeah. No time to line the pot up.
Yes, sometimes you see inexperienced players out at centre stage with the shot clock who do tend to forget, but it's unusual for one of the game's elite because they do play an awful lot of shot clock pool.
Yeah, and Josh uses the shot clock a certain way. He always takes it on the biggest shot of the rack. And it's just to avoid the beep happening on his backswing. Labutis walks away in disgust. He knows he's going to leave a pot here.
4 ăn được nhưng mà ra 5 khó nhé. Đúng rồi, bình bia. Ý đi đặt Nguyễn ạ. Đấy là con 6 không? Không lấy được 6. À, con 6 giữ lại kìa. Hay chưa?
Getting the 6 into more open play, taking out more insurance about winning the rack.
Cái. Thôi. Con 6 khó rồi.
Just hugged the rail too much. Is he pulling the cue ball and being the 9 ball here? He is. He's indeed. It's a big ball though for Labutis this. It's finished near the rail. He's going to come off the right hand side of the table, just above the middle. Outside chance of potting this ball.
Này thì cũng nhảy được. Cũng nhảy vẫn băng được.
If he does pot it, the cue ball's going to come back down the bottom end somewhere. This ball needs to keep rolling, so he can't cut it in the side.
Yeah, twice in this rack, Filler has surrendered shape. But on each occasion he's hooked Labutis. Now his third opportunity.
Yeah, both players had a few visits in this rack.
Con này được chắc thôi.
And Carl, that's the kind of ball he thumps in with alarming regularity, more than anyone else.
Cảm ơn các bạn nào đã tặng hoa nhé.
He can play a quiet game, he can play a power game. And far more often than not, he plays a winning game.
Joshua Filler wins it.
That equals Joshua Filler's biggest lead. He was 4-1 ahead. Now he's back 3 in front at 7-4. So, Cole, when you're up against one of the world's best and you're trailing, what do you tell yourself?
Hang in, stay patient. All the old cliches, take what the table gives you, see what opportunities you are faced with. Sometimes it's none. On other occasions, it can all go your way. I think the only good thing for Labutis is he's got to be sat in his chair and realise things have not quite happened on the break for Filler. It's not like it's been a break and run match, has it? There's been dry breaks, there's been scratches.
Break 12. Joshua Filler to break. Leading the match by 7 breaks.
This time the 1 is in. The 2 dresses up, the 3's in the open, ditto on the 4 and the 5. He'll be licking his lips.
Yeah, and the problem is, if Pijus Labutis was thinking that, it can all change. And it just does. Filler at last pots the ball in the side, and just look at the opening shot he's been gifted here.
Chung kết theo lịch là 1:30 nhé. Châu Á Pháp cũng uy tín mà.
There are some issues to work out. 5 to 6 will need to be quite precise.
Cần gì phải coping chung, ổi ngay vừa nãy thôi. Cần gì phải chung.
Yeah, and life will be made easier from where he's left the cue ball on the purple 5. It's just what we call the natural potting angle, when you pop the ball with centre ball, where does the cue ball go?
Clip mình đăng nhìn hài. Nhìn hài quá, theo mình phải đăng.
Just wants to hold up a little bit. No, he has run on a little bit too much. Again, what's the natural potting angle here? If you can judge it to pop this ball and it runs into the 8, that'll be okay. But it can start to go wrong. Trying to cannon balls. It can start to go wrong when you're cannoning balls.
You said it, Carl. He thought it as soon as the cue ball came to rest off the 5.
Should go close to potting this. He didn't get close. It was perfect. Straight in the middle of this corner pocket. Didn't even touch the sides.
But the 8, even for a maestro like Filler, is no certainty. I had a little faith.
Biggest rack of the match, this for me. It would have kept Labutis in touching distance.
Fuller gặp ổi thì không biết được hai ông đánh trong vòng bao nhiêu phút để xong đấy.
As it is, Germany is doubling up on Lithuania. Joshua Filler now with a commanding 8-4 lead.
Còn chấm một ly mấy ông này bắn còn chuẩn được mà. Labutis bạn ơi, Hoàng thua Labutis, Thiện Lương cũng thua Labutis. Chưa chắc đâu bạn ơi. Cứ vậy xong gặp ổi cái đó. Chưa nói nên điều gì. Đấy, bạn nói thế là bạn chưa xem ổi bắn này. 40 đô khoảng 1 tỷ nhé. Bán kết 2, trận này bán kết 2. Đúng rồi, bán kết 1 ổi ăn. Ở đây những anh em nào mà Fuller chắc chắn vô địch thì chắc chắn là anh em đó chưa xem ổi bắn vừa rồi. Thắng chung kết là 40.000 đấy bạn. Mỗi lần nghỉ này nghỉ 1 phút thôi, xong rồi đợi cho cái xếp bi là bật tiếp thôi. 1 tỷ là với mình thôi, chứ với người nước ngoài thì 1 tỷ đáng bao nhiêu. Ổi đánh chắc mà sao mai fan sao mai. Nếu nãy bạn xem ổi đánh thì ổi đánh đi chấm liên tục mà, phá ra hình. Có nhé. Bạn nào chưa follow thì có thể follow mình nhé. Thì lúc nào mình bật like là các bạn biết ngay. Lịch là 1:30 nhưng có thể là sẽ bị đẩy sớm hơn, giống như trận filler này cũng bị đẩy sớm hơn. Thì là tùy tình hình thôi. Nhưng mua ô tô ở nước ngoài thì nó rẻ hơn mua ô tô ở Việt Nam, đúng không? Việt Nam thuế 100% cơ mà. Mà sao được 7.000 nhé? Ổi là Nazuki Oil của Nhật Bản nhé, bạn nhé. Nazuki Oil, năm nay phong độ cực cao luôn.
Have we just seen a Joshua Filler surge? At 5-4, it was very much match on. Filler, though, has won the next 3 racks to tighten his grip, significantly improve his chances of taking on Naoki Oi in the European Open final a little later on. And now, Carl, the break is being crunched, even if the 5-ball might have been a little rude here.
Yeah, cue ball flirted with the pocket. Oh, Phil, look at this. From what looked like to us being hooked, he's not. And Labutis is sat right behind that shot where the cue ball is. He will have known straight away. Yeah, he's just beaming down the line of the pot.
9 racks on the board. The one positive for Pijus Labutis, it is a winner breaks format, which does help if you're trying to overhaul a massive deficit. But to come back from 9-4 down in a race to 11 against Joshua Filler, that would take an awful lot of doing. The Billiards Congress of America have a Hall of Fame. It's very prestigious to get in there. Joshua Filler, I think, is a certainty, but he'll have to wait a while. He's still in his 20s.
Yeah, 40 and above. That's the age you've got to be.
So you've not had the call then yet, Carl?
Rack 14.
Oh, I was just thinking, you've not had the call yet.
They did by 9 racks.
Never mind me.
Năm nay đây, phong độ xuống luôn. Rồi khoa fan này.
Well, I suppose it would help if you had a phone, Phil.
Well, that I knew how to use. That's the salient point. This break is suddenly working again for Filler. Yes, a few issues early on, but not anymore.
Yeah, the cue ball was a little bit sketchy though, and the fact that he's got a shot on the blue too. He has been fortunate in this rack. Still got to knock this in though and swing this cue ball off 2 rails. I don't believe you can pot this ball out.
Vẫn có tình huống. Bỏ tay. Đó, vẫn có tình huống.
Double foul.
Chưa biết đâu.
Marcel was obviously looking at the contact on the purple 5.
Chưa biết được Hữu Sơn này.
Yeah, just grazed it. Obviously at 9-4, winner breaks.
Labutis hôm nay khá hơi đen.
Yes, he's not going to have many chances to come back in this match, is he? This might well be the only chance he gets. Gonna need a bit of luck on the break. First of all, he's going to have to hit good breaks. You know, try and pot that one. Get a good cue ball off the side rail.
Cái này phí thì mình không biết đâu.
Maybe set himself a mini target from this point. Try and get it to 9-7, keeping your opponent sat in the chair.
Labutis này bắn tốt mà, có 2 quả phá chết cái thôi.
Well, numerically, it's not the last chance saloon, but you get the impression effectively it is.
Nên không thể nói đối không cân sức được.
We've been talking about this all week, the psychological importance of keeping your opponent off the hill.
Ok, 27 Hoàng Sơn đây. Mình cũng mong ông Labutis này thắng. Hôm qua Seo khá Hoàng Sao mình khá là thích. Đấy, sợ nhất phá chết cái thôi. Hôm qua phá nó ok.
9-5, hope springs eternal. Because of course Labutis gets to break off next. And you can get on a roll. All he can do, as Carl said, that cliched progress of one shot at a time, one rack at a time, and try and put Filler under some kind of pressure.
Yeah, that will be the target. Just try and step up and hit a good solid break, hopefully. Land on that lowest ball. You never know, a golden break would be very timely. This is the art of being a pool player. This is what the sport is about. It's situations like this. Situations where you're down in the match. You've got to ride it out, try and make something change.
That's right, 15.
Hope it changes.
Trailing by 9 racks to 5.
Can he make the one ball in the side of the break?
Bạn đợi phá xong bạn sẽ thấy tỷ số nha bạn nhé.
Yes, he can. But he's not getting a look, is he? He's not getting an easy first shot.
Hai vẫn còn đường chém nha bạn. Hai vẫn còn đường
And he
chém.
needs it more than the opponent.
Phá còn này là còn chưa được như trận Hoàng Sao hôm qua đâu.
Yeah, there you see the two wasn't looking too bad, and then it was shunted down table by the brown 7.
Còn má chém không hay là thủ? Còn nguyên má chém này. Chém luôn không? Không. Thủ lỗi rồi. Hôm qua đánh với anh Hoàng thủ lỗi ác đúng không?
That's all that is.
Hôm qua đánh với anh Hoàng thủ lỗi ác luôn.
You're giving the advantage to your opponent. I don't know where the red 3 ball is. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he will, but he could go for the bank.
Qua thủ con nào dính con ý.
Full table, top right corner pocket. He'll probably try and split the balls side by side. That's what he's played.
Qua thủ ác mà. Không, đang thế này không ai cân đâu bạn ơi.
Would have loved just a touch more pace on the white.
Cho mình 1 giờ 30 nhé, Khoa Phan nhé. 1 giờ 30 mình sẽ livestream. Hoặc là nếu có lúc nào live là mình sẽ bật livestream luôn. Anh em cứ nhấn đăng ký.
Still though, 9-5 down. This is a sticky situation for Labutis.
We're
coming at you with a brand new hit. Something's telling me that it's still in time.
Bản thi đấu này kêu lả. Bàn này hôm qua bắn xong người ta thay luôn đấy đấy. Thay nỉ luôn đấy. Đúng rồi, có phê. Chứ lả đâu mà lả. Phê cho nên con 8 nó cuộn vào trong. Bàn người ta thay nỉ liên tục. Bàn thi đấu các ông kêu lả. Riêng bàn nã là các cầu thủ đã kêu rồi, không đến lượt các ông kêu đâu. Đúng rồi, có phê cho nên con 8 nó xoáy vào trong. Bạn 70 kg ấy, bạn đừng spam như thế. Mọi người đều nhìn thấy. Bạn spam nữa mình cho bạn đi luôn đấy. Bạn nã cơ thủ người ta đã kêu rồi. Không đến lượt các ông kêu đâu. Filler vẫn đang dẫn trước nhé. Theo lịch là 1:30 bạn ơi. Theo lịch là như thế. Nhưng tốt nhất là các bạn cứ follow đi. Vì có thể là đẩy sớm. Đẩy sớm thì mình livestream thì các bạn có thông báo luôn. Các bạn bình luận 1-2 lần là được rồi. Không cần phải bình luận nhiều đâu. Cũng không phải tranh cãi nhiều đâu. Người ta xem vui mà. Xem đừng tranh cãi. Cái pha này là do bên media làm cái video nó bị lag. Media của WSC. Thôi không phải tranh cãi
The
đâu.
big question here at the Hotel Hills Congress Centre in Sarajevo as this European Open gets down to the business end is Pijus Labutis merely delaying his opponent's victory march, or will Joshua Filler fail close to the line? The stakes are very high indeed. $40,000 go to the winner. That's a record for this tournament. 16,000 for the runner-up. And everyone involved today has been guaranteed of at least $10,000 and of course the equivalent amount of World 9-Ball Tour ranking points.
Hoàng sao 20 tháng 3 bán tiếp nhé. Anh em nhớ nhé, 20 tháng 3 năm 2025.
Here would be very valuable. Involved in the title match because he is one of the elite players in the sport of 9-ball. Not a great deal of emotion when the 9 went in. Yes, he was happy, but he understands he's at that level, Carl. When he comes to a tournament, if he doesn't win it, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, he knows he's going to play a huge part in any tournament he enters. I can't even remember the last time he went out early in any 9-ball tournament. There's the stats. 5 break and runs in the end. Didn't feel like that, did it, Phil?
No, it didn't, but he was efficient. He missed 4 pots, which is a little surprising for him, but from distance, 100%, you can't get any better than that. And I think Labutis also was undone by the fact he made 4 safety errors. If you leave Phil anything, I'm afraid you will be punished. His break was pretty good all in all, Phil, particularly towards the tail end of the match. And I think it's the best compliment you can pay him. If you've just seen him for the first time, you'll think, wow, what a great player Joshua Phillip is. But let me tell you, he can play better than that. He'll be hoping to wrap it up and produce his very best when it matters most in the final this evening. A race to 13 against Naoki Oi for glory and that $40,000 first prize. Okay, so let's go down onto the floor. Di Stewart is with our latest winner.
Thanks very much, Phil. Here with Joshua. And Joshua, just looking at those stats, are you pretty impressed with your own stats there?
Yeah, I mean, I played a good semi-final. It's never easy playing on tight equipment in a pressure arena. And yeah, I'm just super happy that I took it off because he also played unbelievable. But I got lucky on a couple of breaks where I actually hit it too thin, but always got a shot after. But this is the key thing when you play as someone who you always lose to, that you get the shots after the break.
Yeah, I mean, you looked cool, calm and collected, but the feelings, I'm sure there are a mixed bag of feelings as you walk around the table.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're going to feel pressure on some shots, of course, but I just kept telling me, just focus on your game and on your stance and, you know, believe in yourself all the time. And this is what I did. And on good days it works, on some of the bad days it doesn't, but I just believe in myself, and I'm just happy to be in the final now.
Great stuff. JJ, how did he do today? Did he do all right?
Yeah, well, he started strong and he finished strong. I personally thought knowing your game, you were a little uncomfortable yesterday overall. Looked much more comfortable today. Was that the case?
Yeah, I mean, it was my second or third match on this table, so you kind of have to work on the feel of the club so you get comfortable. When you have certain shots where you have to play dead on perfect positions, this is the key thing. And today, of course, I felt more settled and, yeah, just more comfortable.
And was it easier seeing that Pijus was having trouble, you know, making balls on the break and getting shots? That probably makes you a little more comfortable as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if he starts with a couple of break-and runs or at 9-5 or something, make a couple of break-and runs, of course, it's going to be tougher for sure. And it didn't help when I missed the 2-ball, but yeah, luckily his break wasn't just working as probably the matches before, because I've seen him playing good and the results were like much better. But you know, when you're in the arena, you just hope to get the shots, you know, and get the luck on your side, and this is what you are just working for.
Absolutely.
This event has been played in Germany for the last 3 stagings. It's now in Sarajevo. Do you prefer playing away from home in this event?
No.
I am joking.
No, of course, having that event for 3 years in Germany was just unbelievable, and every year I did actually well. I think my worst result was the last 16. I was in the semi once, and then a quarterfinal, and now in the final. So I'm developing my game, or just pushing myself every time to win an event which I haven't won. So I have a chance tonight, but I've seen Naoki playing unbelievable, so it's going to be a super tough match, and I just can't play someone who's also on one of the best levels.
We spoke to him earlier. He's very excited about being in the final, and we cannot wait. Here in Sarajevo for the first time, what do you make of the place?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to settle now, have some